The morning unfolded slowly, golden light spilling across the garden as if the sun itself was stretching awake. Dew glistened on the grass and on the daisies, tiny droplets catching the light and sparkling like a scatter of tiny stars. The scent of damp earth mingled with the aroma of rosemary and thyme that wafted up from the herb garden. Somewhere beyond the hedge, a blackbird's song rippled through the air. Roscoe was tidying the kitchen, putting away the breakfast dishes and plates. They'd had poached eggs on toast with runny yolks, the perfect thing for bunnies just awoke. He was coming out of the pantry when a faint sound drifted in through the open door. "Do you hear that?" he asked softly, pausing to listen. Berry's ears twitched. "That's a tiny noise," he whispered. "High-pitched, like a little peep." Floyd leaned closer to the doorway, tilting his head to catch it. "It's coming from the garden," he said, "near the hedge." Nobody rushed. The bunnies stepped carefully into the morning, feeling the cool dew on their paws and the sun's gentle warmth on their whiskery cheeks. Their eyes scanned the familiar spots, the apple tree casting long shadows, the lavender bush scenting the air, the rose bushes nodding lazily in the breeze. And there, nestled beneath the lilac bush, was a tiny golden chick, its downy feathers glowing and fuzzy in the morning sun. It shifted slightly, lifting its head and chip-cheeped a curious small sound. Its spindle-thin legs wobbled under its round little body, wings fluttering as though testing the morning air. Roscoe crouched low to the grass. "It's awake," he murmured, "and it looks very snug and soft." Caratina leaned over, whiskers quivering with curiosity. "I wonder where it belongs," she whispered. Millie Moonbeam's eyes brightened. "I think I know. Mr. Bramblewick, just a few gardens down, keeps hens. I know he's just had a new brood. This must be one of his chicks. It's wandered a little too far from its mother." "Oh," said Berry softly, "that makes sense. So it's not lost. Just exploring." Roscoe nodded. "Even better. That means we can simply watch and make sure it's safe." The chick cheeped again and took a tiny step forward, then paused, head bobbing, as though it were thinking hard about its next move. The bunnies leaned closer, giving it space, but staying near enough to admire the tiny creature. From over the hedge came the soft, confident cluck of a mother hen. She stepped gracefully into view, her feathers a warm tapestry of russet, copper and gold, tipped with the softest cream. Her plump body swayed gently with each step, and her bright amber eyes scanned the garden as she moved. Every feather shimmered in the sunlight, catching hints of orange and brown, and her soft red comb bobbed slightly as she called out again, a tender, guiding sound. The chick's little legs wobbled faster, and it started toward her, its little behind wiggling with each tottering step. Berry's whiskers twitched with delight. "It knows the way home," he whispered. Roscoe smiled. "Sometimes the best help is simply being present, watching, calm, and letting things find their own path." Floyd crouched low, watching the tiny feet on matchstick legs teeter across the grass. "It's brave," he said, "and careful too." Millie Moonbeam and Caratina moved a little closer, eyes wide as the chick scurried after the mother hen, who clucked softly and lowered her head, encouraging the little one along. Each step was measured, cautious, yet filled with a quiet determination. The chick's tiny beak tilted upward as it followed her. The dew-speckled grass shimmered as it passed. The bunnies watched as mother and chick disappeared into the neighbouring garden, through a gap in the tangled hedge. The air was warm and was rich with the scent of sun-warmed grass, woodland pine bark, and faint snippets of whiffs of honeysuckle climbing up a corner of the cottage. A gentle breeze rustled the leaves, and on it came the sounds of the village waking. The distant clinks of busy trays from Nash's bakery, a cat purring as it stretched lazily along a fence, and the quiet stirrings of early birds. Roscoe straightened. "Well," he said softly, "that went perfectly." "Yes," Berry replied, plumping himself back on the grass. "It just needed a little space and someone watching." Caratina's eyes sparkled. "And it's safe now. That's the best part." Gus the Whiskers stretched, whiskers twitching with satisfaction. "We didn't need to rush. We just stayed calm and let nature take its course." The garden hummed quietly around them. Sunlight slanted through the apple tree leaves, creating patches of warmth and shadow across the soft green grass. The scent of wildflowers and the faint sweetness of early summer fruit mingled with the crispness of morning air. Bees buzzed lazily in lolloping loops, and a bright orange butterfly came fluttering by. Berry wandered a few steps closer to the hedge, peeking into the empty space where the chick had been. "I hope it's settled in well," he murmured. Roscoe nodded. "We'll find out tomorrow when we visit Mr. Bramblewick. That will be a nice surprise, won't it?" The rest of the morning drifted by gently. The bunnies returned to the kitchen, pouring water into glasses, folding cloths, and tidying up small things. Each task was calm and satisfying. Occasionally, one of them would glance back through the open door, expecting a glimpse of the mother hen or her chick, but the garden remained peacefully quiet. As afternoon approached, the bunnies prepared lunch. Fresh, crusty bread, a bowl of butternut squash soup, and then slices of apples and pears and some plums. Elderflower cordial helped to wash it down, poured from the cheerfully chipped jug. Sunlight filled the room in warm, comforting patches. Berry sat at the table, thinking of the tiny chick and its careful journey back to safety. "I'm glad it found its mother," he said. Roscoe's voice was calm and warm. "Sometimes the smallest creatures only need a little notice and a little care. That's often all that's required." Later on, as evening settled in, the bunnies sipped warm milk through curly straws, sharing a few custard cream biscuits. Most had a friendship ear held gently in a downy paw. The garden outside faded with the light of the late afternoon. The scent of fresh-cut grass in summer sun had been replaced now with the aroma of cinnamon buns baking in the oven, ready for the bunnies' breakfast tomorrow. All was snug. All was well. night, night.